What's going on, everybody? Leo Cannell here with today's Seven Figures Club podcast. And today, my friends, again, the mission of this podcast is to help you to cross that seven figures barrier to get into the 5 to 7% of businesses and entrepreneurs nationwide, who can absolutely break that $1 million mark in annual sales. And that's what we're about. That's what we're here to help you with and to provide the tools to make that happen for you. So let's get rolling here. Let's get started. Let's make some things happen here. There are over 32 million businesses in the U.S. and over 90% of them will never break seven figures in annual sales. So how do we as entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs break into that seven figures club? This podcast will relentlessly share the secrets, strategies, and tactics I've used to create 3 multi-seven figures businesses and bring in even more successful entrepreneurs than me to share their inspirational stories and tactics to success. You can create your dream business and life right now. So buckle up and let's go. Today's podcast topic, a good one, a powerful one that is necessary if you're hoping to break into that seven figures, that multi-seven figures. Every, $1 million in income and sales that your business generates on an annual business puts you into that much more of an exclusive club. And hopefully someday you make it into the $8 million range as well. So that said, let's take a deep dive into this. Why does all of the growth, both personally and as a business, come outside of your comfort zone? We're going to dive into that today. We're going to talk about to get outside of your comfort zone. Well, that requires learning new skills and trying new things and going the extra mile, doing more than what you've done before and going outside of that area of comfort and the things that you know and do well, but you also don't grow until you do go outside of that comfort zone. We're going to talk about looking for small ways to improve yourself consistently every day, every week, every month over time, and what will happen to your business as you begin to think outside of the box and see that exponential growth in all areas of your life. So as I think about this topic, going outside of your comfort zone, there's a lot of different ways that we can go with this, but let's start kind of at networking, right? A big part of succeeding in entrepreneurship is you have to, almost always attend some events, some seminars, some conferences where you can learn new skills, new concepts, be up to date on the latest cutting edge techniques with marketing, with advertising, all these different things. And so in today's world, it has never been more important to stay up to date on different marketing trends, different social media trends. And at the end of the day, one of the most important concepts that you have to pay attention to is your ability as the business owner, as the entrepreneur, as the probable face of your organization. It's how you communicate, right? And it's the ability to be able to go on video and not talk outside of what you know, but really dominate and bring, interest and intrigue and, interesting points that people don't realize about your business that arouse curiosity, that essentially generate action where people want to find out more about your business. Your prospective dream client is attracted to you because of the talking points that you lay down. And so one of your most important jobs as the founder, CEO, business owner, even when it's just you and one other person or even just yourself, is the ability to talk about those inflection points, those areas of interest that pique people's interest, that arouse their curiosity, that basically are the competitive advantage of what sets you apart. As I was sitting there listening to Tony Robbins a few feet away from him at an awesome event we had in Orlando in September, the first thing he brought up about succeeding in business. And the guy is now officially a billionaire. He's got some amazing businesses that are doing extremely well. He made the pivots necessary in 2020 to have an amazing, I think, record-breaking year, even though he couldn't do live events, which is what his entire business was built upon. And the first thing that he brings up is, guys, what is it that sets your business apart from everyone else? Because if you don't have a well-defined competitive advantage that sets you apart from the competition, then you're going to be drowned out by the noise. You're never going to be able to grow. You're never going to be able to take that next step. You're not going to increase your brand awareness. People are not going to want to do business with you if you can't very detailed and specifically articulate what it is that sets you and your business apart from the competition. And that is vital. That is imperative. If you can't do that, you're not going to grow. And so when I launched, over 3 years ago now, boy, it's almost, just over 3 years. When I launched Seven Figures Funding, our main business here, our core business, that was what I thought a lot about. And that's why I spent 90 days without sleep building a 75 video entrepreneur education platform to help new businesses get started, build out key performance indicators, understand how to legally lower their tax liability, how to build their business credit, how to have the right mindset, how they should think about business partners and strategic partner relationships, all these different things that no one has ever done and still hasn't done within our industry. But it was a massive competitive advantage to be able to educate and empower that business owner and give them more tools to succeed, and not just be just that funding company that got them funding once and wished them, well on their way, but actually provided more power, more education. And the coolest thing about it is that's not something that's easily duplicated. Like, you can't spend 90 straight days and knock out 75 videos and 20 hours of, very important, essential, vital content that you as a brand new business owner, which is 75% of our business, and do that very well and succeed. And so that's what's so great about understanding the power of a competitive advantage. When you can build that competitive advantage up with your product or service and what you do with your core offer, then you can grow. Then you can begin to gradually add additional offers and products and services to what you do. But your core offer must be phenomenal, and it must be significantly better than the competition. It must stand out, and you must think outside of the box. And so to create these types of things, like, you're going outside of your comfort zone. If you're not used to being on camera, if you're not used to creating content and teaching, if you can't do a Facebook Live, an Instagram Live, a LinkedIn Live, if you can't create videos, if you can't read from a teleprompter, if you can't do these things without being boring, if you can't articulate and communicate your vision, mission, and core values and what sets your business apart to your employees and your team, then they're not going to be able to communicate that to clients, and you won't succeed and you won't grow. So let's talk about what it takes to go outside of your comfort zone. At the end of the day, it's doing new things. It's learning new skills and doing things that you hadn't done before. And one of the, I was speaking a little bit about events, and the main point I wanted to bring up with that is, for a lot of us, and I'm kind of right in between. A lot of entrepreneurs, can be introverted, they can be extroverted. It seems like it's never in between. But for me, I am right smack dab in between. Some days I feel very extroverted. I want to do those live videos. I want to do the podcast episode. I want to reach out to as many people, cold contacting, cold calling them, big strategic partners. And I'll go to an event in San Diego, in Tampa, in Miami, New York City, wherever it is, and I will be on my game and ready to communicate and ready to meet as many new people and be as outgoing as possible. And yet some days I wake up at these same events where I need to be outgoing, and I'm feeling dang introverted. I don't want to go out and talk to all these people I don't know and just start a conversation. And so recently I was at a massive networking event, 6,000 people in San Diego. And literally in these networking events, people are all just kind of standing there sitting, who's going to walk up and talk to someone? And so you have to do it. And at first it's hard. And the second and third time, it gets a little bit easier. And by the time you get to the 9th or 10th time of meeting somebody new, finding out what they do, and just asking them questions and listening and seeing, can I add value? Can I bring, something to the table to help this person, and going into it with that mindset? But it's hard. And there's this little anxiety feeling that you have as you're going outside of your comfort zone and you're talking to people at these networking events. And the same thing happens if you're sitting in your office and working from home. Maybe you don't have an office yet, or maybe for a million reasons you are having to work from home like I am today because my wife's sick, so I got to help take care of her and the kids while still working. But you're going outside of your comfort zone, and maybe you're not an event, but you need to reach out to 15 or 20 strategic partners who could absolutely change your business. And you're going to have to send a bunch of emails and do a lot of outreach, maybe make a bunch of phone calls to try and get connected with a decision maker with that business so that you can do business together and mutually benefit. And that's not easy, right? That takes a certain amount of courage, a certain amount of skill set. And it's something that you might suck at the beginning. And the more you do it, you start to realize what resonates, what words can you put together to articulate your competitive advantage. And as you put these things together, these concepts, as you go outside of your comfort zone, you begin to see massive progress. And where at the beginning you sucked at it, now all of a sudden 6 months later you're damn good at it, and you're beginning to see real growth and real results in your business. So what you want to do is look for small ways to improve yourself and your business and think outside of the box. And this is important. So if you look at your business and in your particular profession, no one's ever done a YouTube channel. Well, that's something you need to consider doing. Or if you look at your profession, no one's ever done a big virtual event to bring together, people within the industry that you could do business with, strategic partners. If you're in a business profession where other, businesses have never considered, this industry as a particular strategic partner that you could actually do a lot of business with, those are the things that you do to go outside your business's comfort zone. And then there are actions you must take to go outside of your personal comfort zone. So if that's getting better at communicating, if that's getting better at creating videos, if that's getting better at reading a teleprompter where you don't sound like a, monotone, boring, 60-year-old high school teacher teaching calculus, then those are things that you need to work on. Those are new skill sets that you can develop that will set you apart. And that is where the growth happens. If you're someone who, in your workout routine only lifts, you never do cardio, you never get out and run, you never get out and do sprints. Yeah, you can, bench press 300 pounds, but if you had to run a mile, you would be dead about, a quarter mile in, right? If you had to knock out 3 or 4 miles to survive and you can't do it because all you've ever done is just lift heavy weights, well, that's going outside of your comfort zone when you begin to mix in some cardio with your strength, or vice versa. All you've ever done is run. All you've ever done is run. And yeah, you've got a good low resting heartbeat, and you don't have a lot of fat on you, but you don't have a lot of muscle either because you haven't done the strength. You haven't combined the strength and the cardio in your workouts, and you need to start lifting weights. You need to start doing some push-ups, pull-ups, and so forth, and increase your strength. Or maybe you're someone who's only done bench press and arms, and you walk out and you've got a ripped upper body, but your lower body's weak. You can't run, you can't squat. And those are the blind spots that we have. We are good at focusing on what comes natural and easy to us, and not very good at going outside of our comfort zone and working on the stuff that doesn't. And I think back to this 75 hard challenge that my son Marcus and I completed earlier this year. And that was, even though I'm very comfortable with, being focused on eating right and working out, I was noticing before I did that, there hadn't been probably one day go by that I didn't put some garbage in my mouth, whether it was some chocolate chips, potato chips, something with sugar, maybe the trolley worms, love those trolley worms. And going 75 days where I had to consciously catch myself and say no, and every time I was going to put something in my mouth, think, is this, according to the diet that I'm following? Am I maintaining the high standards? Am I not compromising and justifying my lack of breaking my commitment on the 75 hard challenge? And that was going outside of my comfort zone. Even someone who, for the last decade, I probably haven't missed, doing 3 or 4 workouts in a week ever in the last decade. And yet doing that second workout every day was hard. Doing that second workout at 10 p.m. at night where I had to maybe go run out in the cold, not easy. Outside of my comfort zone. I was very good at going down into my nice little workout room in my basement, knocking my workout out in 30 minutes or 25 minutes and being done for the day. Now having to do that workout for 45 minutes and adding a second 45-minute workout that had to be outside was extreme. It was way outside of my comfort zone. For 75 days, knocking out all the nasty food outside of my comfort zone. And yet at the age of 41, something happened that had never happened to me before. I actually had pretty close to a 6-pack. Even when I was 17 and 18, playing football in high school, working out all the time, I still didn't have those kind of abs and 6-pack. And yet at the age of 41, there they were because I went outside of my comfort zone. So the lesson, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, is go outside of your comfort zone. Do it daily. Go talk to that person that you should talk to that's a complete cold contact. And guess what? If you do it enough, you'll start to get good at it. Do that cold outreach with that big strategic partner who can absolutely double and triple or grow your business substantially, but you're a little concerned, a little afraid, a little timid to reach out to them. Go knock it out. If you're, single and looking for that relationship, reach out to more people. Reach out to that, dream romantic relationship that you're looking for. If you are, trying to have a better relationship with your children, with your family, reach out. Do the things that you haven't. If they love doing a certain outdoor activity that you're not fond of, do it. Go outside of your comfort zone. That's where the growth is. That's where success is. Do it. Take action today, my friends. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with your team, make it happen. God bless you, and we'll see you next time on the 7 Figures Club podcast.
Are you looking for more 7-figure secrets, content, or even how you can launch your own recession-proof business? Then check out 7figures.com. That's the digit 7, FIGURES.com, where we share more videos, stories, strategies, funding solutions, entrepreneurial education, and even the secret business type that's recession-proof. Thank you for listening, and if you're finding value in our podcast, please give us a 5-star and invite others to join the club.